Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500 and welcome back to Project Bluey. This is probably going to be the penultimate video on Bluey, I think. By the end of today it should be all completely finished, so let's see what we've done. Right, I've swapped over these batteries. I took the battery out. Now I can't remember if I've actually bought a new battery. I think this might be a new battery that I bought. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I had a small battery, obviously a normal size for a non-stop start car, which will start and run a car perfectly well. It's just the stop start won't work. I've put it in this, started it up, it was fine. I took the car around the block and it went again. Ignition lights come on, steering's gone stiff. Turned it off, back on again, it's fine. So it's not the earth strap, it's not the battery. I can only think it is the alternator that's gone. Why that all of a sudden that's decided to pack up? I've never had one that an alternator's not worked. So I need to make some inquiries as to whether they're the same alternator in the non-stop start cars, sorry, the non-aircon cars, than they are in the and stop start for that matter. Do they have more than one alternator for these cars? Because I've got one that I took out of which one was that out of? Was that out of Project Cooey? I think it was Project Cooey, but it was was that a pop? I can't. You know what? I can't remember if it was a lounge or a pop. I think it was a pop. But yeah, I don't know if I don't want to go buying one, but I think they're a pain in the backside to change on these. Anyway, that's something to do at a later date. For the time being, this noise I mentioned to you that I've got, I'm going to get it jacked up, get the wheel off, have a look underneath. I phoned the garage because the 500X is ready to pick up. And I've said, you know, I'm going to have a look, see if I can figure it out, if it's something silly, and then if not, they said bring it back, which is what I'll do this afternoon. So let's get it up in the air, get the wheel off, and have a look, see if we can find anything. I found what the problem was. If you look down here, this guard here is bent over, and it's touching the corner of the brake disc. It's not even on the brake area bit. Hopefully that's in focus and you can see that. Yeah, it's literally touching on the corner. So I'm just going to bend that out with a screwdriver. It's just a backing plate. So somehow, there we go, it's not bent now. There you go. And make sure underneath that it's not bent anywhere else. And then we put the wheel back on, take it for a spin. Then we've got our nice new bottom arm. Done by the garage. Nice new second-hand hub, done by the garage. Obviously I would have liked to have done it all myself, but it was there and it needed to be done for the MOT, so it just made sense to leave it there. They did me really good favour. I know I use them a lot, and you know I recommend them to other people as well who ask, but they did me a right favour with the labour on this. So much so that I gave the mechanic 30 quid just for doing a great job, and well, apart from leaving that bent, I don't know how that got bent, but yeah, no, they've done me such a favour. I gave them an extra 30 quid to give to the mechanic who did it. So yeah, good. So hopefully I'll just go round underneath the bottom of there and just make sure there's no more bent bits in there, and I'll get the wheel back on and we'll take it for a spin, make sure it's alright. I think it will be. And then it will just be that damn alternator, which is a real pain in the backside. I'm going to get MES hooked up to it, and then we'll see what output we're getting from the alternator, and then we can only assume that it's going to be that. I don't know what else it could possibly be. If it's not the battery, then it's not the earth strap, then it must be that. Anyway, let's get this checked out, double check, make sure there's no more dodgy bits, and get the wheel back on. Right, wheel's back on. I'm going to take it for a spin in a minute. I just thought I'd show you the stuff I got back. We'll see if we can have it. Oh, where's my keys? I want to have a look at the hub, which was bent. He did say when I went to pick it up yesterday, he did say that it was bent. So I wanted to actually have a look at it. I've also got this dodgy, what we got there, brake disc. Brake disc? Oh right, absolutely, yeah. Might as well keep that. Where's this hub? Let's have a look at it. He said it was bent. Let's inspect it. Trying to get it out of the bag one-handed. I'm just looking at this. There's nothing you can tell looking at it that's bent. I mean, it obviously is bent, and it doesn't need to be out much. I don't know where the bend is. I might keep this because we've got a decent bearing in there. You never know when you might need a wheel bearing, even though I haven't got a press to take it out. I might as well keep it. But yeah, somewhere in there it's bent, which was the culprit. And I've got the brake disc, which I'm not going to bother keeping actually because they're so cheap. Oh hang on, we don't know which one's which now, do we? Because we've got two hubs. So this is the other hub. Yeah, no, this is the hub that I took down, which is a different size. I think. I'm not actually sure which one's which now. One's bigger than the other. Can't tell which one's which. Oh well. I wonder. So I think this one is the one. I think this one is the good one. Yeah, it looks newer as well. Yeah, this is the good one, but off of a twin air. So the splines on the spindle there are a different size. I think bigger. So the drive shaft is obviously different on a twin air. So I'm going to keep both. Obviously that may come in handy if I do ever get a twin air again, which I'm not planning to, but you never know. And then we got this headlight, which I don't know what the hell was wrong with this. Which is I repaired, but there's nothing rattling in it. This is the thing that he couldn't get a pattern for. So I don't really understand why. Because looking at it, there's nothing wrong with it. Strange. So I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to look into it and see if I can figure out why. But I have also, of course, I've still got to change it on this. But first thing I want to do is take this round the block, make sure it's all right and not rubbing, and then I will need to plug it in and check out the alternator output, and then I suppose figure out if it needs a different alternator and get one ordered if need be, and then also figure out how to do it. I've never done an alternator in one of these before. I've taken one off of a pop and it came out the top. Aircon's in the way. I'm not removing the aircon, so I'm hoping it can go underneath. I think I have seen something in the past about you can do it from underneath, get it up on ramps, and you can get to it from underneath and manoeuvre it through. So we'll give that a go. But that's it for the time being, and we'll be back once we've taken this for a spin, and hopefully it's okay. So we'll be back shortly. Morning, back again. 3 days have passed since the last video. Today we're going to try and get this car pretty much finished. We're going to do the plug in MES. I've got my laptop currently on charge. We're going to plug in MES to read the output voltage of the alternator. An alternator has been ordered and I'm hoping it's going to come today. I'm probably not going to do the alternator, and I know what you're all going to say, but doing an alternator on these is a pain in the backside. And I spoke to the garage when I picked this up from having passed its MOT and said, look, if I supply you an alternator, how much are you going to charge me? And they looked it up on their little system, which sort of tells how long these jobs take, and they say it says on that between an hour and an hour and a half. You've got to take a wiring loom off or something. I don't quite know why you would have to take any wiring looms off, but I think it's probably talking about the electrical connection to the alternator, I imagine. But he said he'd done a few taps and taps and taps, and then because I'm a good customer, he said we'll call it 0.9 hours, £72. So for 72 quid, I think I've never done an alternator before, and I know they're a pain in the backside. I had a look on YouTube last night, and all I could find on there was people on American cars, which are all 1.4, so it's different. I know it'll be in the Haynes manual, and I might have a look in the Haynes manual just to see if it is as much of a pain in the arse as I'm led to believe. But otherwise, if that alternator comes today, I'm going to give them a ring, and they said last week that they could do it tomorrow. So if they've still got a space tomorrow, I'm just going to take it down there. I'll get it back the same day, and then the car will be up for sale at the weekend. Otherwise, I'm probably going to struggle to get it done. For sake of 72 quid, I've had to spend £40 on an alternator. For sake of another 72 quid, I can get it done, get this car up for sale. I'm not going to make a massive amount of money. Taking into account that money, £72 plus the £40, I'm going to make at my sale price of, I think it's 2,750, might be 2,650, can't remember. I'm going to make about 300 quid on it. So obviously it's not that much money, but it gets the car done. We've had this one quite some time now. It just needs to go now. I've got my eye on another car tomorrow as well. So I've got this one and Harold left, Loopy Harold left, both of which are virtually done. So I'm going to need a new project. I know I've got stuff to do on the Abarth to get that sold, and also on the 500X, because I want to get that up for sale soon as well. But for the time being, we are concentrating on Bluey. So today, straight away now, we're going to sort out this. This is what I was talking about last week. This has moved somehow. I'm not quite sure how. So I'm gonna, it's too far over. You can see there's a gap there. So I'm either gonna put another one on or adjust that one slightly. But I think the plastic bit that the mounting bolts, see it's a bit loose in there, that the mounting bolts are on, I think have come away. So it's sort of flapping around a little bit. So I'm gonna take the bumper off. I've got to change that headlight, because that's that left-hand drive headlight. So I've got to change that. So I'll put another headlight in. I've got loads of headlights. I'll probably have to cut some tabs off and then take tabs off of the original one where I repaired it, which is on the floor down here somewhere, yeah. Change that. Obviously I've got to take the bumper, at least this side of the bumper off to do that. Once I've done all that, got the bumper back on, done all the bolts up and everything, lined everything up, we'll get inside, we'll do that MES test on the alternator, and then we're going to give it a wash. The interior was done last week. Obviously the seats were cleaned a while ago, but I got all the overspray off and cleaned all the interior up. It all smells nice in there, no damp anymore. And this will be done apart from the alternator. So it will, if I can get this alternator delivered today or tomorrow, we'll get this done by the weekend. It'll be ready to go up for sale. So it'll be sold by next week, which is really good news. As I say, although I'm not making a massive amount of profit, at least it gets it done, out of the way, move on to the next one. So I'm going to stick you on time lapse while I get this off, and then we'll get it done. Right, that's the headlight in. So I took one lug off of the previous headlight, not the previously repaired headlight that you couldn't focus. This is quite a nice one actually. It's fairly new, but I've put the bracket on there, ground off the other bits and pieces. So I've just got to look at this now. So I don't really know why this is like this. I thought part of the thing was removed, but it's not. I don't know why. I'm going to take it off. I may have to put another one in, another repaired one in, if I've got another repaired one. It all seems to be in the right place, but for some reason it doesn't fit very well. So I'm going to take it out and have a look at it. I'm not going to do that on time lapse. Let's get it out and have a look. Okay, so I've got it out, and I thought it was repaired okay, and it is. And what I remembered was this. So that's all floppy. So it's obviously pushing it out. So I need to get that glued. I think I'm not gonna take the entire bumper off. I've got Tiger Seal, so I'm gonna Tiger Seal it, and then that should be enough to hold it. I'll let it go off for an hour or a couple of hours and put it all back together, and hopefully it will hold it. I thought there was something dodgy about it, but I wasn't quite sure what it was. So let's do that now, and then I can get on and do the other bits and pieces. I've also got to change the battery as well, because when I was having the problems with the alternator light coming on, I just swapped back to the old battery that was originally in it. I think it was in this car, which is obviously a non-stop start battery. Works fine in the car, but obviously the stop start won't work because it's the wrong battery. But I was right in thinking before that is a brand new battery that I've just bought. It is nothing to do with the battery, we know that now. So yeah, let's get that glued up, and then we can get this all back together in an hour or so once it's gone off. Right, that's all done. Filthy stuff, that Tiger Seal. I can't even get the camera in there really. Just sort of, yeah, it's all put back. Don't think it's loose there as well, is it? No. So it's all stuck. It grips really well, that stuff. I don't know if you saw then, but it does grip really well. So obviously I can't get the light back in yet, because I need to let that go off for a good couple of hours. I want to leave that before I put that back. So I'm going to change that battery back over. And then I've had a parcel come as well, which I'm pretty certain is the alternator. So I'm going to change that battery back over, and then I'm going to get in the car with multi-ECU scan and have a look and see what voltage we've got. Right, I'll put the original battery back in. We haven't got the warning light up at the moment. We've got triangle up because the antivirus, go away. We've got the triangle light up because the DRL is disconnected, of course. So it's not doing it at the moment. If we go to turn the steering wheel, I know in the previous car turning the steering wheel did it. It's not doing it now. Oh yeah, it's come up, look, there you go. Oh, and the steering's gone stiff as well. Now the battery is reading 10.6 volts. Now I don't know why that would be. It's a brand new battery. Obviously that's not very good, but of course most of the power is coming from the alternator. But that is not very good, is it? 10.6 volts. Now I don't know if that's anything to do with the alternator or not. I think we need to get the alternator up. I think we have to connect to the engine ECU, which I need to unplug and take the yellow adapter off and plug it back in. So let me just do that and we'll come back. What I've just discovered: alternator, short circuit at ground. So that makes me think there is definitely a problem with that alternator. Short circuit. So it's got to be an internal electric thing, isn't it? So that's confirmed the problem now. I just want to look parameter. Let's just clear those if I can. So obviously communication with body computer, I don't know what that's all about, but that's intermittent, so that's obviously not there. No fault codes, obviously that will come back. I just want to go in. Oh, come out of it now. I just want to reconnect. I've lost my mouse. A white mouse on a white screen is not good. Simple things that Apple come up with that Windows just, I'm sure all you Windows people out there are telling me, oh, you can change it in the system settings. I don't care. Anyway, where are we? Sorry. Parameters, battery voltage, 10.4. Where is, I have no idea where alternator is on this. I need to find it. I don't even know if it's on here. Bear with me. Canister fill, what the hell is that? AC cursor, engine key. Nothing seems to be here. I can't find it. Well, we know it's a problem. I'll have another look through for it. Maybe it's somewhere else. But we can see from that error that it's clearly the alternator. Short circuit at ground. Okay. Well, I'm glad about that, because that shows me there is something wrong with the alternator, so my new alternator should do the job. It's annoying that I can't find it. Adjustments. When we get onto Loopy Harold, I'm going to do the phonic wheel reset as well, that someone suggested. Never bothered doing it before, but I'm going to do it. Anyway, that's another car. Right, disconnect from there. We're going to see if we can find it somewhere else on a menu somewhere. I'm not quite sure where it is, and then we'll come back. I was just looking through trying to find it. I couldn't find it. All sorts of errors started coming up. ABS not working, EBD error, all sorts of things come up. So I stopped the engine, turn the engine back on, and we get that. So, oh dear. So I don't know where, because that battery was in it before, I guess it was been running off that battery. That battery's obviously, I'm assuming, it's gone flat now. So what we better do is get that battery on charge, stick that other battery back in it yet again, so I can at least move the car out into the street once I've finished sorting it out today, because I want to get Loopy Harold down here as well. I couldn't find it on here. Yeah, no, I couldn't find anywhere of how to check the alternator output. I don't know where it is. I'll have to have a little search. But yeah, no, I've gone through all the menus and can't find it anywhere. We know it's knackered, so I'm going to unpack that package, make sure that is, and then I'll give the garage a ring and see if I can take it in tomorrow. Right, it's on charge. I've disconnected it completely. Put it on charge. As you can see, it's putting quite a lot of charge into it. So I put my little gauge on it just to read what the voltage was, and it didn't even register. Completely flat. Now this was in there originally when it was up at the garage having the MOT and the other bits and pieces done. So I've driven it there and I've driven it back. I've driven it around the block a couple of times. And it was fine. Or say it was fine, obviously it was coming up with that alternator bit, but I've just had it running there. That was obviously enough to completely zonk it. I did put that battery in for a while and it was, you know, it ran okay. That battery's got plenty of charge, that's still showing fully charged, but of course when the car's on, everything is coming off the alternator and it's draining the battery big time. So we're going to charge that up for a few hours. I'll leave the car here, charge it up for a few hours, get all this finished in an hour or so's time, and get it all put back together. And then by the end of the day, we'll have it all put back together and hopefully a charged battery that I can go and stick it out on the road. And then tomorrow, hopefully, well, I don't know, I've got to phone the garage, see when they can do it, but hopefully they can still fit me in tomorrow. But yeah, that's, I mean, think there's nothing else left to do on this one at the moment. We're sort of a little bit of a stalemate until we got some power in the battery. I could just have changed that battery back, but it's all right leaving the car just here for the time being. It don't matter too much. So yeah, so that's where we are at the moment with this. So hopefully this will all be put back together by the end of the day. I wanted to give it a good clean as well today. So I think it's time to move on to Loopy Harold. I've got someone coming very shortly, yet another person who I'm putting a new speedo in for. I've already tried once with one that didn't work on her car, but she's now bought one that's already been adjusted to the correct mileage, so it should just be a matter of a straight swap and a proxy alignment. It didn't work before because hers is a 2010 car with start-stop, so it's the later 2010, and I think she got one from a later version of speedo, and because her car is ultra low mileage, it's like just over 20,000 for a 10 plate. So she's had difficulty getting a second-hand one. Bought a new one, but that was for I think a 2015, so it didn't work. But this one is apparently the correct one, so we'll see. Hopefully it will work. I'm getting fed up changing speedos now. I've done so many over the last few weeks. But anyway, that's another story. So I'm not going to bring Loopy Harold down here yet because she's going to be parking her car. She'll probably be in about 15-20 minutes. So I'll don't know what I'm going to do actually. I'm going to. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we'll be back in a bit. Right, so bumper's back on. That light's back in the correct position. It's got a bit of blue paint around there, so I'm going to have to scrape that off. I haven't got any of the bolts in yet because I can't start the engine at the moment because due to the dodgy alternator, its battery's completely flat. It wasn't even registering. Now I've got a feeling this isn't a brand new battery. It's a DriveMaster battery, so it's a budget battery. I've never tried them before, but it ain't charging, I don't think, because we're doing the charger. It was okay for a while. It was up sort of here, but it keeps doing this. I keep switching it off and then back on again, and it's okay for a while, and it's doing it straight away this time, and it's doing that. So when I've had that before, that's been because the battery's been dodgy. As I say, this is a brand new battery. It's just gone into this car less than a month ago, so I'm going to have to get onto them, I think, and see what they say. Maybe have to get an exchange. So I might well be putting that one back in later if this one's not going to charge. Then it will just have to do. But you've seen what the fault is now with the alternator, so I'll be taking that into the garage tomorrow. Once I've got it started and what have you, I can then move the wheels, get all the bumper bolts on and everything. I noticed that when this has been put back on, when they did obviously they took the bumper off when they did the bottom arm, and I've just noticed that it hasn't been put back in properly. So I'm going to have to take this side out again as well. Not even sure they've put the bolt in. No, they haven't. So yeah, I've got to nip this side up properly again. That's why I don't like getting other people to take my bumpers off, because they never put them back on properly, or they don't take them off properly and end up breaking them. So we need to get that done as well. So this is going to be done now this week, definitely, because it's going in for the alternator tomorrow. So once that's done, a final clean up. I've got to clean up the engine bay as well, which I haven't done yet. But once that's all done, this car's then finished. So this will be up for sale within the next few days, which is great news. And hopefully it will sell pretty quick. So I'm going to reset this battery again, just turn this off for a few minutes. Each time I do it, I'm sort of repositioning these. I don't think it's made a blind bit of difference, but I think it's faulty. So I'll switch it on and it'll be alright for a bit. And then in a few minutes time it'll start doing it again. And I'm assuming by doing all that, I did Google it and it says that the battery's knackered generally. I might get one of those conditioning chargers that you can sort of, stick on your wall, and there it's just gone down to 0. Look. Oh no. Yeah, it's all over the place. So there's definitely something wrong with this battery. Definitely something wrong with it. So I shall email them tonight and see if we can get one swapped out for another one. Otherwise I'll just have to buy another battery. Anyway, that's Bluey for the time being. We will be back shortly. Well, shortly for you. Once we get this started, get it cleaned, get the alternator done, give it a final clean inside. Well, it doesn't need inside. I only did it the other day. It's got the Sahara sand all over it, where it's the wind has blown in from the Sahara and come down in the rain, so it's all got that all over it. It's all very well, but does make a mess of your car. And of course it's been in the body shop as well. Not body shop, sorry, it's been in the garage, and they always make a bit of a mess of your car, so they always come back dirty for some bizarre reason. Anyway, that's it for the time being. We'll see you very shortly, hopefully with a finished car. So I was going to finish this off today. I was going to do that in properly, give the car a clean, and so I've got to get the bolt in there and so on and so forth. But I thought, as it's going in tomorrow to have this alternator replaced, I might as well leave it till I get it back. So hopefully I'll get it back tomorrow afternoon sometime, and then we can get on and clean it, and then hopefully by the end of tomorrow this will be up for sale, which would be amazing. We can hope. So yeah, so thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. If you're a casual viewer, please subscribe to the channel. Please like and share as well. As we know, it helps the algorithms to get the channel known, get the numbers up, and so on and so forth. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.